Dear student, how are you? I am also fine. Thank you very much. Sit down. Dear student, I am MD Ziad Ali, assistant teacher of Alipur Union Secondary School. Dear student, I want to discuss about the tag question. At first, you have to know about the definition of tag question. What is tag question? Dear student, tag question is a phrase added to the end of a statement in order to turn it into a question or check that the statement is correct. Dear student, I want to give an example. Look at the blackboard. He is a liar. Isn't he? Isn't he? Dear student, it is tag question. Dear student, at first you have to know about the type of tag question. What types of tag question? Tag question is two types, such as number one, affirmative or positive tag, number two, negative tag. Dear student, I am going to give an example on the blackboard. Look at the blackboard and listen to me attentively. Dear student, number one, affirmative and positive tag. Corey is a good boy. Isn't he? Dear student, Corin is a good boy. This is affirmative statement. So tag will be negative. Corin is a good boy. Affirmative statement. Isn't he? It is negative tag question. Dear student, Corin is not a good boy. Is he? Dear student, here Corin is not a good boy. Is negative statement, so tag will be affirmative. Corin is not a good boy. Its negative statement. Is he? Is affirmative tag. Dear student, actually you have to make a tag question. You have to remember some rules. It is notable that number one, there is student number one, if the statement is affirmative, tag will be negative. Number two, if the statement is negative, tag will be affirmative. Dear student, I want to give a chart on the blackboard to understand the tag question easily. Look at the blackboard. Statement affirmative. tag negative. A statement negative tag affirmative. Dear student, look at the blackboard. If the statement is negative, tag will be affirmative. If the statement is affirmative, tag will be negative. Dear student, I am to give an example to understand the tag question easily. Number 1. I am a student. Ain't I? Number 2. I am not a student. Am I? Dear student, I am a student. It's affirmative statement. So, ain't I is negative tag question. Dear student, I am not a student. It's negative statement. So, am I? It's affirmative tag. Dear student. Dear student, if you want to make a tag question correctly and perfectly, you have to know some things, such as at first you have to know that, dear student, you have to use comma between the statement and tag question. Such as he is a good student, comma, isn't he? Dear student, we have to use comma at the end of the statement. So, where you have to make a tag question, you have to use comma at the statement at the end of the statement. Have you understood? Dear student, number 2, you have to remember that if the subject is noun, you have to use pronoun of noun. Dear student, if you want to make a question correctly and perfectly and perfectly, you have to know connector. You have to know contraction. You have to know about the contraction. Contraction, dear student, all auxiliary verb will be retained without can, shall, will in the negative sense. Dear student, look at the blackboard. Am not, contraction, ain't or aren't. Dear student, cannot, contraction, can't, shall not, contraction, shan't, will not, contraction, won't. Dear student, all auxiliary verbs will be retained without 4 auxiliary verbs, such as am not, can not, shall not, will Dear student, now I am to discuss about the auxiliary verb. At first, you have to know all auxiliary verbs to make a tag question. Auxiliary verb is very, very important to make a tag question. If you don't know about the auxiliary verb, you cannot make that question clearly. Dear student, auxiliary verb ask. Am is are, was were, have has had, do does did, will would, can do, may might, must, ought to, dare to, used to, etc. Dear student, 12 tenses in English, but 10 tenses have own auxiliary verbs, and 2 tenses have no own auxiliary verbs. 2 tenses have no auxiliary verb, that is present indefinite tense and past indefinite tense. Dear student, there is no own auxiliary verbs of present indefinite tense and past indefinite tense. Past indefinite tense. Dear student, now I am to discuss about the general rules of making tag question. Rule number 1, present indefinite tense. Present indefinite tense. How to make a tag question of present indefinite tense? He plays ball. Ball. Doesn't he? Dear student, it is present indefinite tense. There is no auxiliary verb in the sentence. Dear student, now I am to discuss about the past indefinite tense. He wrote a letter. Didn't he? Dear student, he wrote a letter. It's past indefinite tense. Did is used as auxiliary verb of past indefinite tense. So didn't he? Dear student, rule number 2. Dear student, if you want to make a tag question of imperative sentence, you have to know, you have to identify the imperative sentence. Dear student, if remain at the beginning of the statement main verb, please kindly plus main verb, do not plus main verb, and let. You have to take will you and interrogation mark. Dear student, look at the blackboard. I am giving 2 example. Play ball. Don't tell lie. Please give me a pen. Give me a pen. Let me say. Dear student, play ball. At the beginning of the statement, we main verb. Dear student, do not tell lie. At the beginning of the statement, do not plus main verb. Dear student, please give me a pen. At the beginning of the statement, please plus main verb. Dear student, let me say at the beginning of the statement let. So you have to take will you and question mark. Dear student, thanks all. See you again.